tiny little delay, but we should be live now. If you guys can hear us, let us know, but we should be coming. Yeah, I see it's coming through now. So hi everyone, welcome to an L word mega panel, mega discussion, mega rant, mega tears, mega everything, of a mega breakdown, a joint breakdown all together. All of you are here as well to have a breakdown. And so tonight I've got Jess from Hot Takes and Deep Dives, Amanda from Amanda's channel and Lescast, and then Evelyn from her channel. And then she also has a podcast on her Patreon. So I'm going to put the links to all the channels and everything like that in the chat. Oh, it didn't copy very well. So if you need to go, sorry, it's copying weird. Let me just take it out. You can go and visit everyone's channel, subscribe to them, etc.
Somebody just wrote, "This will be interesting." Hi, everybody.
No promises.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah. Listen, we've got, what have we got left? 2 weeks. Next Thursday is my last episode in my house. Then I'm off to LA. So we shall see. We shall see.
Oh
But
boy.
yeah, those are all the links for everyone if you want to go subscribe and check them out. I'll put them in the description box, anyone who's listening on replay also. So I guess we just get into it because there's so much to talk about. And
Catherine says, "Jess, say everything." I mean, okay, can I just say, so I literally just finished the episode. My main complaint is, why did they write it in a way that Angie didn't tell Shane that he was the professor? All of this should have been Shane reacting to the fact that she was dating her instructor, her professor, not just some random guy. It took the power out of what could have been really interesting scenes, and instead it was just a cat and mouse game. The only interesting thing was when Shane was reflecting on her past, saying like, "Oh, when I was a kid, I would have like it reminded you of like where Shane came from." But there was no point to any of those scenes.
But that was like I mean, I've seen a lot of people talk about this because this has been, I know we've talked about this too, that all season they've been dancing around that. Like no one has actually said, like even when Angie and him are talking and stuff, they're like, "Is this okay?" But no one has said, "I am your teacher and I should not be sleeping with you." Like it's like we're all just like, ooh, you know, like nobody actually says that.
Because they're saving it for episode 9. We've had, 8 filler episodes? It's all filler.
I don't want it now, though. I want it to go away.
But wait, is that actually against the rules? Like if you're in college? I literally have no idea. But like, is that like
any university I've been to? Yeah.
I think there's got to be a... Like, I think when you get a job, there's got to be some sort of stipulation that like you can't have any sort of like romantic or sexual entanglement with your students. I mean, any teachers in the chat?
Yeah, like does anybody know? I literally don't know. I mean, I wrote a whole book about
my university. They're definitely University of Tampa. I went to USF, and all those places had them. There's a student one and there's like a professor, and even there's it's not even to do with like professors, it's like faculty of the university, like, you know, even people who work in the post office and stuff. It's just not, and it's not like, oh, it's frowned upon. Like
somebody's bringing up a great point, which I've been thinking all along, which is, yes, in the I think it was in the season 6 premiere when Bette is having drinks with Phyllis says something to her like, I covered up one of your indiscretions. Basically, Nadia had filed a complaint, which was honestly, I was here for that. Again, the whole time I've been saying this professor should have been a woman. I would have been on board. Well, no, I wouldn't have been on board, but I would have been like more into like what was going to happen. Like, give me a hot teacher. You know, I mean, am I am I like going off the rails here? But yeah, like, why did it have to be a man? Like I got so many the layers of this.
Yeah,
it would have been way more interesting if it was a woman. What does that say about the way we react to that? And then to like not to waste this entire episode with Shane and not bring up that it's the professor, where then who cares?
Well, see, I think that's the issue, and that's what's confusing to me, because they like up until now, well, actually this whole time, they just act like it's frowned upon. Like the two of them, they're just like, well, we don't want people to see us because we don't want, the judgment or whatever. But it's like they don't seem to act like what they're doing could get him fired. So that's why I'm just like, okay, it is against the rules, right? Like, it's confusing, and it's almost like she got mad that he didn't introduce her as his girlfriend, and I'm just like, well, wait a minute. Can he do that? So that's why I'm confused. So maybe, is it okay in LA? Or like, I mean,
no, it's not okay.
In 2022? No.
But do you see the confusion?
No.
Have they been acting like that, or is it me?
Too.
Yeah.
They just don't say it. And it's like,
yeah. That's
why
why
are you saying it?
It's okay,
and by the way, I may be a total idiot. So the whole time when they were at that, the Thanksgiving, like when they were helping like feed the homeless or whatever. So the whole time until the very end, when you see him with the woman, I actually thought that the big reveal is going to be that it's his mother. Like, that's really what I thought it was going to be. And my big outrage was, if we meet this motherfucker's mother before we meet Bette, and we've never met Bette's mother, that is so, like, that's a new level of insanity. So I was relieved that it wasn't the mother.
Yeah, I thought sister maybe.
Really outrage about.
Yeah, I feel like that now is just going to turn into like, oh, that's his whole thing is like he, every semester there's always those professors that they just a new semester and a new student, like that's the whole thing.
I thought they were going with, no, he's really a great guy. That's why he kept the chat book. And after they're not teacher student anymore, they're like in game. But I could be wrong.
God,
it's just weird. I don't know the way that because you guys are right. Like, they don't bring it up much, but even when they do, it's like, it's just more like, oh, it's frowned upon, not it's against regulation. That's just weird.
Yeah. It's super weird.
Finley's mom came before us knowing Bette's. And I'll tell you guys, I'm editing it right now. So next week, this is for everybody, people in the chat. So Ash has kind of been like hinting at this, but something like major kind of came through for me. So I interviewed Eileen Chaikin for a full hour. Ooh. And I absolutely asked about Bette's mom and like what the fantasy casting would be and like why we never saw her mom. And so you're going to be hearing directly from Eileen Chaikin on that topic.
Cool.
Yeah.
We don't know who's playing mom though.
Well, I don't know.
We don't know for definite.
My big wish is for Bette's mom to show up.
Oh.
In the finale. How do you sign off on Bette Porter without us? This is the missing link that would put this would put a bow on it for me.
I would say any other show would be absolutely fucking insane to have a character on for 20 years, have this whole thing, have even mention her in episode 1 and say, it was like this unlocking this thing, it set me free, and to not have her in the finale. But I now would, any other show would do it. No questions.
Yep.
This show, I would not be shocked if they don't have her and we have a 20-minute scene about Micah's mom actually showing up at Bette and Tina's wedding and having some big drawn out thing because they just are insane. And
now I have a question because I don't keep up with anything. So the wedding for sure is don't laugh at me, Ash. The wedding for sure is Bette and Tina's, right? Like it's not like Mike and Maribel's, right? Like
I
that's been
swear on my life, like
okay. I just
I probably
Yes.
I probably got
100%.
yes.
I just had to make sure because I was like, you know,
That
they
would
just
be
got
hilarious.
engaged.
But honestly, I wouldn't believe it unless I had literally seen it with my own eyes.
Okay.
Because I told this to Tammy today, who's one of my my friends and my subscribers. I said we were talking back and forth in like a voice note, and I said to her, I was like, you know what? Actually, I have to admit this because when I was on the set, everybody can take their first drink. There was this stuff on the table that everybody else was trying to like cover stuff up except for Jamie Clayton. She's the real MVP. She was like trying to like tell me and show me shit. And I initially wasn't even going to walk over to this because it looked like wedding-y stuff, because in my head I had the thought, well, it's not going to be fucking Bette and Tina's wedding. It's going to be some Micah and Maribel shit. So why am I going to care? And then, like, you know, for once I was proven wrong. But yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes.
Tokuma's like, they're gonna edit the wedding out.
I know, that's
These
hilarious.
decisions they
Oh,
make.
people are asking. So the Eileen interview is going to be out next week. I'm going to releasing the podcast on Monday, and I'm pretty sure I'll have the videos out on Monday as well. I'm going to consult with Ash on how to. I'm no YouTube expert, but I've got videos that I'm sitting on, so she's going to advise me on how to like cut these up. But yeah, and we
And I'll
talk about
post
a lot.
when you post them.
Yeah. What's the name of the podcast? Hot Takes and Deep Dives. And I love the person in here who wrote, oh my God, it was a while back. I mean, a few minutes ago, who wrote that Alice's one is Gabby DeVoe. And yes, hard agree.
There's been a few people saying that lately.
Wait, who's
Yeah,
Gabby
well,
DeVoe?
I asked
Sorry.
I had interviewed Guinevere Turner.
Guinevere Turner?
Flat out asked, like, would she come back to consult, write, direct? And she's like, yes to everything. She was like, yeah, I'd totally fix it.
Guinevere Turner played Gabby DeVoe. She was a writer on season 1 of Gen Q. You'd know her if you saw her. But Jess loves her too.
Oh my God, she's like we're
kind of crazy.
We are the
real
life Bette and Tina.
The crazy.
We're meant to be. She just doesn't know it.
Oh God. But yeah, I pretty much everybody would come back if they asked them. Like Sarah Shahi is literally on her knees, like begging them to take her back.
And Kate Minnick wants it too, because anyone who listened to that last Pants podcast, Kate was like mourning the storyline that is Shane.
Oh, we have to talk. We have to go deep on the episode of Pants this week. I honestly need to talk about that for hours.
I was really surprised.
That hurt my feelings, and I'm not even Marcia.
Yeah.
It hurt your feelings?
Right. I'm like, I'm not even Marcia, and that hurt my feelings.
You think Marcia's like crying listening to the podcast?
I would be if I was her, absolutely.
They're talking shit about me.
I mean, they went in. Kate, my God.
I know. I feel like definitely like Leisha was like pulling Kate back a bit from the brink.
She was trying to be a little nicer. I think at the end though, she went in too.
But I think it's even funnier that they went back and edited something like that part in, which somebody else that is quite involved with. They don't actually work on the show, but they are very connected. And we were talking about it yesterday. And I said, like, oh, it's obvious that they've edited that bit in about, you know, Seppi and Vanessa and other Stephanie.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you think? Because I think they either have gone, oh shit, we need to mention like Gigi and stuff because everybody loves them because based on what Jess they said to you. But I also was thinking maybe it could be that they just were like, oh, fuck it, let's just put it all in. But this person was saying that they actually think they put it in to kind of soften the blow, to be like, oh, Gen Q people too. So it's not so like OG. So
I mean, my big takeaway from what they were saying was that we're stuck with a cast that sucks. That was what I heard. That was the translation of what I heard. And our original cast and guest stars with like Jane Lynch. I mean, they mentioned Holland Taylor, Jane Lynch, Sybil Shepherd, like all these people saying like that was what brought a lot of the magic.
See, that's interesting. See, I thought that it was more shade to Marja and the writing staff.
Writers, yeah.
That's what I thought.
And also the lack of closure on those particular storylines, or what they did with those storylines, like with Jenny and, Kit. I mean, they could have been also shading the new people. I don't know. But I definitely felt like it was a Marja / writers kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I guess I thought it was both. I heard it as a real diss
all of the above
toward the
all of the above.
The acting, like it's characters. It's less actors, but more like, well, it's a combination of both, I guess. Yeah,
but we better get that magic school bus, like L word. That would be fun.
By the way, they said Olivia. Who's Olivia?
Olivia.
Oh, Olivia the priest. Olivia.
No. They were talking about it in reference to the original show. There's an Olivia. Who's Olivia?
Oh no, I think Olivia was in with like Stephanie and Seppi and all that, because they said someone else, Olivia and someone else. But that Olivia Trilby, yeah, she was the Rebecca, the priest.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because that actor was on that show, the last. They
meant Olivia the minister.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is what I thought.
Because Shane's wife, that was the other one too. Yeah.
Right, Lex. Yeah. Okay, because so people are confirming this weird thought I had in the chat. Wasn't the baby who played Angelica? Wasn't her name Olivia?
I think they were twins. I think there was twins. Was there?
Oh.
I wrote hard for baby Angie, by the way. Like, I thought that was the cutest baby. And that's why I love Jordan Hull. Like, it's like such perfect casting.
It must be like teenager.
She would be like, what? How long has it been the show? 12, 13?
2009 is when it ended. So
and how old was the baby? I don't even remember.
Ooh, like 2?
How old is a baby even?
Yeah.
I think she was like 2 when the show ended.
I don't even know. Okay.
What age are you not a baby anymore?
When you're a toddler.
They're like, bring back the baby.
It would be fun to do a side-by-side of the baby, how they've grown up now, and Jordan Hull.
What they look like.
They look like. Yeah, I think that'd be really funny.
Oh god.
Get baby Angie, the Olivia, get one of those twins on Dana. Be like, you got comments? Like what?
Tell us the dirt.
Tell us the dirt.
Oh god. I know they well what did you think overall of the episode 8? Because I feel like so many people have like not even discussed the episode because they've just gone to watch the preview, promo, trailer, whatever.
I have a question. Why is the Thanksgiving episode airing in January? Because they did the same thing with the Halloween one. Like, what happened? Does anybody know?
Like, make it a holiday
time
or
that
don't.
Stuff.
Yeah, but other shows do it.
I know.
Yeah, they do.
I know.
Like, I mean, I feel like maybe I would have liked it more if it was Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
Because I just wasn't in like, I'm not in the holiday Thanksgiving mood.
Especially in January.
Things that stood out to me in the episode, I thought it was really weird that Danny is lamenting about fucking Roxy and not Gigi? Like, what are you talking about? And I said the thing already about Shane and Angie. I thought that was a total waste. Like, I really was looking forward to their scenes, and I felt like they fucking missed the mark there. And the whole Finley mom stuff, I just don't care. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't care. And the Rosie stuff, I don't know. It's not hooking me. I just
see. I liked Finley's mom. Like, they need something. That we lost Gigi, Bette, and Tina, and at least there was some excitement. Like, she was somebody I felt something. I was like, what a bitch. She reminded me of my mom. Like, just totally the stereotype of like a
I think it's the waspy white Christian thing, because yeah.
Actually, they what it reminded. Did anybody here or in the chat ever watch the HBO show called Looking? It was about a group of gay guy friends that starred Jonathan Groff. Did anybody watch that?
No, don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, at the end of that show, his mother, who was always disapproving of him being gay, comes and tells him that she's leaving the father. And I was like, they fucking ripped this off of Looking.
Oh,
And
they
she
did that on
also was like a
Friends
waspy-
too. That when Rachel's mom comes to New York, like when I heard that on the show,
true.
I could hear the lines playing in my head of like Rachel was like, "Oh, my mom's disappointed" or whatever, and the mom was like, "But you're living your own life and out there." It was exactly the same. But I mean, you know, every storyline's been
is
done
that
before.
the famous episode where they give us the flashback with like Ross and everybody, or am I crazy?
Oh no, I think this one, her mom actually comes to New York, yeah. But I mean, I even said in my review, it's probably growing up around like these waspy, you know, money, everybody's so white and blonde sort of thing. Like I went to school with Kaylee McEnany, like they're all like that, like cookie cutters of each other. So there was some reminiscent there, because that's their favorite line is, "Oh, you're gay, but you don't look gay."
You're so pretty. What a
You've got
shame.
makeup on. I'm like, oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot my tag that I need to wear. But yeah,
See,
I
my
mean,
question with the Finley thing. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, my only question with the Finley thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a while since I watched season 1, but weren't they kind of foreshadowing that her backstory had something to do with religion, like a lot?
Yes.
And I don't know if I missed it in this episode, but it didn't seem like it had anything to do with religion. It was just like her mom's homophobic.
Yeah.
They threw that whole thing away.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. I was like, guess we're not going to do that.
Oh, yeah, someone here is asking Ash. This is for you. They were asking, does anyone at Showtime, does anyone at Elwood or Showtime pay attention to what you,
no,
and then they put in parentheses, we, meaning the chat, like are saying? And the answer is, I think, a resounding no.
I thought Marcia Lewis Ryan like watched stuff.
They do watch stuff, and they absolutely
watch, but they don't listen.
Yeah, that's accurate. They absolutely too do read Instagram comments, which I feel like maybe I shouldn't tell you that, but they definitely do, and it's not just the writers and stuff. Like this sounds like maybe they do watch the videos. They do, like, because they've recognized me. So unless they have some passionate love for, I don't know, the morning show or some other video that I've done, like, my audience is pretty small, you know, so they definitely do. How much they take on board?
Well, the thing is, it's hard for them to take it on board because the show is done. The show is written, acted, filmed, in the can. They can't. I know you joke around, Ash, about like, I want the lights on, I want the hair. Well, bad news. It's already been filmed fucking 8 months ago. Not 8.
But they can take some notes, improve next season if we get one.
I've been talking for 2 years.
Marcia deleted all of her whoa. I know Marcia got rid of her Twitter. This person's saying she deleted all her social media. Did she delete her Instagram?
No, she
Ash was like, no, we were just FaceTiming this morning. She's on it.
No, she hasn't. No.
Marcia is deleting comments. I think, Ash, you confirmed that. Well, it wouldn't be Marcia. It would be Showtime. Would be
no. Showtime was not. But actually,
yeah,
you have to give it to Marcia. She doesn't delete any stuff or like block, or from what I can see anyway. And there's some real ruthless stuff. So, I mean, if she was deleting, she'd delete the worst stuff. So, the one thing that I do appreciate about, I mean, you know, she's always been really nice to me. She is one of those people that like she constantly would say to me like she wants people's real reactions, whether they're good or bad. Like it's all about realness to her. So whether, you know, whatever way you want to take that, but
it's like Dracula's daughter said, like they see it, but they don't care.
That's Showtime too. Like that, especially now, because before, I mean, I've talked about this, like Kelsey, who used to run the account, like she was a huge L Word fan. Like there was a passion behind it, but now it's, you know, not even there's so many other shows on Showtime that there's channels and podcasts that have like a couple of hundred views, and Showtime cannot do enough for these people. But with the L Word, they're just like, just stick what are they doing at the moment? Is it like Grubhub or something? That's all I ever see them promote, is their like giveaway thing for Uber Eats or whatever it is, and that's it.
Somebody's saying, did anybody see what Seppi put in her story? And I'm looking right now.
Oh, it was the GG art stuff. She reposted like some I think it was fan art.
It must be gone.
Well,
already.
maybe that was from yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah.
I did see that yesterday. Yeah.
The one, just what we were saying before about the seeing but not listening, or watching what not listening, is the thing with Kate and Leisha. I do think that is really interesting timing that they released this, because they recorded that on the 28th, and I know they had this little break from, because they're in post for the final episodes, and they are still right now like finishing the end of everything. So I suspect they will have seen the first, you know, whole run through of everything, like the edited episode, right around when they recorded that. So are they kind of saying it wasn't us? we did what we did? Because I mean, there's only so much they can do.
LM Savvy, I am related to Kevin Costner, according to some random aunt who lives in Alabama. Sorry, Ash, were you saying that like you think the editors are they're kind of, what were you, they're like they're still working on 9 and 10. Well, they must be done by now, right?
It's literally like finished now, like being they're actually in post until the very end of January. So I think they must be doing something else. Like they keep telling other people and not me that they're doing this like fan video or something like that, but I don't think that the cast or anything would be involved. But maybe they're using some of their people to do some stuff. But I just was saying that like Kate and Leisha, it seemed very strategic timing to put that out. Like, why did they choose then to put it out?
Because they were commenting on the musical episode. I think that's why it started that they were talking about how they got Aaron and how they were basically admitting that the reaction to the musical episode didn't live up to the hype that they had, that they were sort of spewing out when they were filming.
They were like
justifying. They were underscoring that they had so much fun filming it, and okay, maybe people didn't like the final product, but like Aaron, etc. That's what kicked off that conversation.
Yeah, just.
And actually, speaking of that, Ash, you always say, I've got a question for you. And it's like, I wonder what people think. So, Ash, you always say that you think Marja and co are resentful of the OG, or they're insecure. Okay. So, if they're insecure, why are there so many references to Dana? Like, was Marja just like a Dana super fan?
That's honestly, that's like the conclusion that I've come to, because it's only Dana. Like, she is if you go back and like, I have tons of videos that are like all the Easter eggs or all the OG references in X episodes, and there's some episodes, like I remember last season there was like a chunk of episodes where there was fucking nothing, but there's like Dana has probably as many callbacks and references as everybody else combined, and it just has to be something. And I think also it's a very easy like heartstring to pull on, whereas other like Dana and also Erin Daniels, it's a simple story. Like, the character was killed off, universally people hate it. Dana's not very like controversial, so it's kind of an easy get to just be like, look, we're referencing an OG character, that's an easy one. Whereas with Jenny, with Max, with Carmen, with everybody else, there's this kind of baggage, or like, for better or worse, you know, a lot of those characters are a lot more popular, but then still there's, you know, everybody has their thing with Jenny and whatever it is. So I think that it could be kind of a combination of both those things.
You think she's pandering to the audience, and this is like one of the easiest way to pander?
Well, remember the audience reaction to when they named Dana's. Like, when they unveiled Dana's, people lost their mind. So maybe she saw that and she was like, Dana's the way to go.
Do you guys, Evelyn and Amanda, do you want it to be like, what will if tomorrow it's announced, announcement 1, the show has been renewed for season 4, with Gen Q, the Gen Q cast, and new faces you'll all love, what's your reaction to that?
F.
Look, I'll give anything a chance. I'll give it a chance, you know, because new faces, could be new faces that are good faces. Not that the other ones aren't bad, but you know what I mean? Like, I'll give it a chance. But
Amanda, would you give it a chance?
Hell yes! It's the L word. I am here for this show, no matter what.
Scenario number 2. Tomorrow morning you wake up, it's not being renewed. Episode 10 with Bette and Tina getting married. This is the series finale. What is your reaction?
That's probably for the best. Honestly, at this point, unless
I agree
completely. Maybe they pull it out. Like, maybe 9 and 10 are just amazing and they make everything else worthwhile. But if they don't, I think they need to end it. Like, because.
But Amanda, you would not. You would.
I would be disappointed, but I wouldn't. I was like kind of going like, I would move on with my life. But I would be disappointed. I have been shocked at how many fans are like, cancel the show! Set it on fire! Blow it up! Reverse time as if it never got rebooted. Like, that surprises me.
The vitriol.
Yeah. Why? I wish it was never rebooted.
So I guess it surprises me that we have such passion for the show and we don't want it on the air. But I also do see what, like, you're like, if it's going to be this poorly written, like, please cancel it. I assume.
But my passion is segmented. You're saying we have passion for the show. I don't have passion for like the Gen Q. It's towards certain things,
right, that they don't want to give us, like our favorite characters. Yeah.
But that's why I said this in my video today. The frustration that I have too is there's some people who'll come and say now that my videos are like more critical, people will say, "Oh, well, you just want all the OG, like them just to make the OG again." It's like I don't. I have from the very beginning given them fucking more than a chance than anybody else has. And if they would have, yes, do I like Bette and Tina and Shane and Alice? Yeah, of course. Do I want more with them? Yeah, all that stuff. But I would have just as easily been just as passionate about Danny and Gigi. And I like Finley. I like Rosie on the show. And if they were bringing me good storylines that I enjoyed watching and it was split evenly between everyone, I would have been 100% satisfied. And even now, if they said, hey, Bette and Tina are going to step away and we still had Danny and Gigi, I would still be doing, if Bette and Tina left and Gigi was still here now, I'd still do my channel. I'd still cover it the way I am. And it's just the fact that like for 3 years, nothing's happened. And that's why I go back to, they just should have, like, what was the point in bringing back the L word? They should have started
money.
Something.
The answer to all of your questions is money.
Yeah, they want to utilize the fan base.
Yeah.
So you're saying Gen Q was like a cash grab, basically?
Yes.
Wow.
There's no point. There was no point. Yeah. Like the Bette and Tina, they got met. Like the show ended. Like it left with them going to New York. Like they were going to get married. With Gen Q, we have to fill in these blanks that like, okay, I guess they got married, but now they're split up. So they had to rewrite history and then just redo the last 3 seasons of the original L Word, which was getting them back together, except they did it really rushed and not as well. So there really was no point unless you just like watching these people, which I'm guilty of that. Like, I just like watching Jennifer Beals and Laurel Holliman like, do the thing.
So do you think that reboots in general are a bad idea?
Yes.
Okay. Because see, I think it's hard. I think reboots are hard to do well, period. Like, I
liked when they brought back The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow on HBO. Like, that's a brilliant show. They did like 1 season and then a decade later they did another season, but it wasn't rebooting the show.
It wasn't a reboot though. It was just like almost like a continuation. It was like a long gap continuation. Kind of like what was that, Arrested Development? I think they did something like that.
Think of Sex in the City and then Just Like That. And Just Like That is a terror on society.
Sorry. Fact. I almost choked. Oh god.
See, I'm enjoying it Just Like That. So I think Jess and I are just a little bit on opposite.
It gives material to
I recognize it's terrible. Like I recognize, but I'm still enjoying it. But Ash, do you think there's a chance they could get Sepideh Moafi back for season 4? Is there like any hair of a luck, any hope at all?
I hate answering this question because the honest answer is like no. I mean, obviously, I'm not her best friend sitting there and she's telling me everything. I wish, but the way that it's been, I mean, this is the other thing. Like 10 people have told me the different story that, and all of them have ended with she, and also like look at the way that they've behaved too. Like they haven't even given her the decency of saying she's leaving the show, but it's always been presented to me as she has left the show from even when they accidentally said it in front of me and they had no intention of letting me know. But the other people have told me as well, like what happened, and it's all ended in the same thing. And I still, that is the biggest. I think that's the worst thing that could happen, because Bette and Tina are fantastic. They're my favorite, but them getting married is like you said, like a wrapped present with a bow on it. Whereas Gigi and Danny, there was so much that you could have done. Like it was just the beginning, and they absolutely ruined it. They burnt it to the ground, and now they've like set fire to the ashes with, or they're trying to rewrite that Gigi just doesn't even exist. And I cannot get over the fact that this still they have not said fucking anything about her not being on it anymore.
All right, guys, sit down. I just got an email come through.
I think I know what this is.
All right, I hope nobody's watching this, right? Can I say this?
Not now. It's too far in. It's too far. They'll have lost interest.
Okay, nobody really don't
everybody tweet about
cool
this
in the chat. So I have a date on the calendar to interview Marja next week. I have a time.
Nice.
So
I'm surprised.
I'm going to ask her
a question.
Well, I have a litany of questions. So I'll have the video for that. Ash will too coach me on how to.
Yes.
I swear to God, you guys are YouTubers. I'm telling you guys, I could cure cancer on video. It'll get 300 views.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Truly, right. I could do.
Welcome to our life.
Right.
No, it's like I could. But before that, just know the Eileen Chaikin interview is already like done in the can. That'll be out Monday, and like you guys will have that first. Somebody asked where my dog is. She's right over there.
Oh,
I can grab her if people want to. If she wants to say hi.
Yeah, we want to see her.
You want to see her? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, Piper. Her dog's called Piper, like from Orange Is the New Black. Last time, I think it was the first time Jess was on. She was like sitting behind, and she was like this, and it was honestly like she was like listening. Hello, Piper.
Oh, so adorable.
She sent me a picture of her on the plane the other day. It's so cute.
Oh,
I know. Miss G's in bed. She's not deeming everyone with their presence today.
Piper has seen the L word so many times. Can't believe they rebooted it.
She's talking about this again.
She's like, I can't believe this bitch is still talking about it.
Oh god.
I have a question. Which season? I know this season's not over, but which season of Gen Q so far do you think is the best?
That's a great question.
That is a good question.
Season 2.
Same.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Same for you, Amanda? Because I see nodding.
The wedding episode where they find out about the fair was just so explosive, and then I really enjoyed Carrie last season.
Oh yeah, that Carrie didn't come until season 2. That's right.
What about you,
Ash?
This is probably like I don't know.
Ash is like season 3.
Well, I mean, like I'm only counting episodes 1 and 2 though, and I'm hanging on
whole thing
for 9 and 10. See, it's definitely not 1. This probably will like get my Bette Tina card revoked, but I did love Jabette. Like, I really did.
Season 2 is the best because we got the best of all worlds.
Yeah. I can't say 3. There's no way I can say because
not yet. Maybe like I said, maybe 9 and 10 are amazing. Maybe they'll
9 and 10 would have to be real.
Even if perfect. 9 and 10 are amazing,
you still think it's still
there's nothing
to have all those episodes.
There's nothing they could do in 9 and 10 that would erase the past 6 episodes.
And they're gonna have to rush it. Like for sure, they'll have to rush shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have enough time for Tina to yell at what's his name? I don't know his real name because I have a nickname for him on my podcast, and I was like, well, that's not his real name. What's his name? Mike? No, not Mike though.
Hendrix?
Hendrix.
Hendrix. Okay.
Yeah. Where'd they pull that name from?
Hendrix.
Okay. Wait, that's a great name. I always wanted to name my pets that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a big Jimi Hendrix fan, so.
Hendrix, like Jimi Hendrix. Okay. I just have never heard that as a first name before.
Okay.
I like last names as first names. There's like quite a few of those now. Yeah, I mean, it's just those. Even if the 6 episodes were fine, it would be okay. But it's the fact that Bette Tina and Gigi weren't in them. Like, just
They're filler episodes.
yeah.
They do kind of feel like even this last episode, even though a lot of stuff actually happened, like if you actually think about all the things that happened, it was a lot of stuff, but like Jess said before, it just wasn't compelling. Like it just wasn't that.
Like the losing the wedding ring trope.
I hate it.
Oh,
like,
also,
sorry, go ahead.
No. When you brought up the wedding ring, it just made me think about the subtitles. And I have been using Duolingo lately, and I did. Yeah, I understood all the Spanish. Nobody cares, but it made me feel good that I understood all the Spanish. But yes, continue, Amanda.
No, I was just gonna say that the Spanish was like the most interesting part, right? I'm like, I want to spend time with Abuela and with the mom and stuff. It was so sterile, the trope about the lost wedding ring. It was
yeah.
Oh no. Micah and the edibles. What the fuck?
I was just gonna say that.
Why?
Dude,
Like,
Leo Sheng has never been high.
He wasn't even that high. Like he was mildly high. Cause I'm thinking, oh, Micah's about to like, get. No, he's just like a little bit high.
I thought he was gonna be fun for the first time ever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Mike is about to, but no.
Such a letdown.
Yeah. I was like, well, why even bother giving him edibles if he's not gonna do anything with them?
What was the point of that?
Yeah.
They dangled that carrot and then they said, no, nothing fun will happen.
Because when I saw him shoving them in his mouth, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
But there's so many things I feel like they are like, oh, okay, this sounds good on paper, and they just do just enough like performatively to tick, but it doesn't. It really is like that, following a recipe or instructions or something. It's not all flowing organically. Like it's like, okay, we need to add in some. We need to write this story, and we need to add in some little like bits. So they're like, oh, lose a wedding ring. Oh, he gets high, but it doesn't. It's just there for one line and then that's it. It doesn't. I don't even know how to describe it, but
like, how hard is it to write some funny shit that happens when somebody takes too many edibles? I feel like
wait, you want to know the funny thing? I think I must have fast forwarded through a part where what happened? He said,
John didn't even know.
I swear to God, I must have fast because I was skipping to the Shane and Angie stuff. What happened?
Like he was stressed out and he needed to like take the edge off. And so
wait, he was stressed about Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think. He was stressed about something. He's like, I need to take the edge off, is all I remember. And then Sophie's like, here, have some edibles. And so then he downs like 3. And I'm like, okay, it's about to go down. But then he just acts. So you didn't even know he was high?
How would she?
No.
That's crazy. That's awful though, because that's not good. That was not executed well.
Cheryl, it's going to be holistic.
Yeah, there was so many things that, and I think also, I mean, Jennifer Beals, like Seppi, all of them, when they're on the show, it's just different. Even just not even what's happening, like the acting, it's just a different caliber. And I think you've really been able to see the difference with. I love Jack Tobani. I think she's great. I think she's a really good actress. And I've also heard nothing but like absolutely brilliant things about her, and just being like a great person to work with and being so nice. And I don't know, there's something about her that I just love. And she seems great with Rosie. And you can tell that like the two of them together can, kind of go against each other. Yeah, but
they've got the the acting chops,
yeah,
why don't the Gen Qers promote the show on their Instagram?
None of them do.
They don't.
I don't know. I don't really follow them, but I feel like I'd see it I feel like I'd see it reposted.
Jack does.
Oh, Jack
does. Yeah, she does. She does share, like, out of everyone, she definitely does. Like, she'll share pictures, and she's always the first to share the promo, because what happens, as I've always say, they wield social media like a weapon, because they will say, say a promo's coming out. They'll say, okay, everyone, like, the promo's coming out on this day at this time, like, but all Showtime can do is ask them to do these things. They can't force them to do, or like, you know, beg them or anything. So I was told that basically when these things happen, there's this whole kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, well, I'm far too busy, so I won't be posting the promo. But then it's like, I'll post the promo the next day because then I need to get all the comments the next day. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's this whole big who's going to post and then so.
But not the kids. Like Ari and Mandy isn't.
No, they don't care. Like the
you're
Gen Q
talking
people
about like Jennifer Beals. Who are you talking about specifically?
all you know, OGs, crew, well, not crew, like writers, all these, anyone who's, you know, not the Gen Qers.
Okay.
They
I feel
don't
like,
care.
isn't it a sign that a lot of the cast must not think it's very good? Because just as like coming from a background of like stand-up comedy, like when you don't promote the stuff you're involved in, a lot of times it's because you're like not super wanting to shout it from the top of the mountaintops.
Right.
That
Did we hear
this.
what Leisha and Kate were saying?
Yeah.
On Pants? Like, there's a reason that they're not posting but I think with them, like, if they were kind of excited or happy, I feel like they would, but then there's some people on the show who are just like, this is just my job, like, I, you know, check in, check out, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I just feel like even if I was working on a show that was like some, you know, because for like a straight person working on the L Word is probably just like, oh, I'm on this lesbian show that's like, you know, it's not a passion for them, or they're interested or they watch it. And so I don't know, if I was on some like bloody car show or something, I feel like I'd still be like, oh, I'm proud of my work, or oh, I you know, want people to see the thing I've worked on. So I do find all that
like
very
last
strange.
season, Ari and Mandy and Seppi were like really excited about their storyline.
Yeah, and that's why they posted everything constantly, and that's why you want people like that who clearly enjoy being part of the show. They enjoy, I mean, it's all, I think as well, like, we can all agree, you do these sorts of things, whether it's small time on YouTube or it's like that, because you want attention, and they enjoy the attention from fans because it's a whole, we all feed each other. And to go from like having these two actors who were great together, loved the show, loved being on it, you listen to how they talk about it in interviews and stuff too, that it's the whole, we really could have had it all, and they fucked it up so much.
Ash, okay, you're more familiar with like regular showbiz. So I watch a lot of reality shows, and in reality TV, like, these people need big followings, the cast members. So they like promote everything. They try to get as many followers on all their platforms. With like serious actors, is it similar where like shows want cast members with a big following? Or is it like, are the dynamics still like, no, we don't care about who has a big following?
Probably until about 5 years ago, if serious actors, it really didn't matter. It 1,000% matters now. Like, unless you are like a Jennifer Beals or something, if you are going in for a show, they ask you now, like, what is your Instagram following? What's, you know, do you have YouTube, everything? And so if you look at like the Gen Q people, like most of them were very unknown before they went on the show. Most of them had like 40K subs before they went. I'm pretty sure that's what Seppi's was before she went on the show. And you know, that has catapulted them up. And then people like Kate and Leisha too, like, you know, I think they actually have a bigger following than Jennifer Beals, if I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think so. And even look at Pants, like, they're just recording chit-chatting once a week that somebody else edits.
Well, okay,
but that
on the
podcast is making money.
Evelyn and Amanda, to what do you attribute the success of Pants too. Like now, like they've blown through interviewing anybody interesting. Like when it's primarily just them, 90% of it. Why do people, or I don't think people even like it, but like why do so many people listen to it?
Lesbian loyalty.
Well, when I listen, it's because I've heard they're talking about the show or they've said something
Same.
juicy. And when it first came on and it was good, I listened because it was good. And then I stopped listening when every episode was like, oh, here's what I had for my midnight snack last night. So, but I assume the people who do still listen to that, which I agree with Ash, I think they're making money. They run like 8 million ads every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I think Ash is right. It's like loyalty. I think Kate and Leisha have a big fan base and they're able to make money off that fan base.
I agree.
And
yeah.
Ash, I feel like you would know the answer to this. Somebody put in the chat, and I actually don't even know the answer. Somebody wrote, I'm probably late to this. Oh shoot. I'm probably late to this, but why did Rachel Shelley stop producing / editing Pants?
I would like to know that too.
This is the thing. I don't know. What I'm gonna say is like what I've seen and what a couple of other people have told me, but it's not like I absolutely know this for a fact. But what they originally said, she stopped doing it because of the time difference in the UK, which is just that's like not a good excuse. And it's very bizarre that from like it was Rachel Shelley's idea,
but she wasn't in the Zoom with them. They sent her the thing to edit.
Yeah, I think
she was on sometimes.
She did do the recording. Yeah, she did do the recording with them. I think.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah, because she would sometimes like jump in and stuff, but she did come up with the idea, and it seemed like she got it going, like she was very much like, okay, we're gonna do it. And I have just noticed that ever since that all stopped, they've never mentioned her again. They didn't mention her in their list out of people for that bus. Rachel Shelley's very responsive especially on Twitter to people, and she will always like and reply and stuff. And I've just noticed if it's anything like Gen Q-ish, it's like avoided. And I also there's just been some other little things that I'm like, this hasn't been I don't think it's just like some time difference, because there just seems to be too many other like compounding things that factor into it.
She probably wanted more of a cut of the ad sales because it was her idea.
Well, the biggest thing was that right around all that happened, that it was literally about, I think it was just before Christmas, Rachel Shelley was supposed to be in season 2. She was supposed to be in the karaoke episode. And even, I think it was COVID was really bad. And it even got to the point where when she couldn't come, they were still going to have her record like ADR, like voiceover. And she was going to introduce Bette Tina, or Bette, Alice, and Shane on the stage for the karaoke episode. And it was the shooting script that they shot with still had Helena does the voiceover in the script. So it just seemed like all of that completely fell apart. And whenever I got like, I went to set at the end of September, and they accidentally told me about Gigi and like some other things, the wedding and all that. But then about a week later, there was 3 people who kind of were like my like big sources that told me, and when they told me, everything was like an information dump. And at the end, I was asking loads of questions, and one of the first things I asked, because they were telling me who the OGs that were coming back were, and I was like, what about Helena? Because her and Tasha are like the 2 that I would have liked to see the most. And they told me that they didn't even approach Rachel Shelley to come back. And there is some people that just because of whatever it is, like, the whole thing with Mia and the Twitter thing where she obviously, I think rightfully so, was unhappy with what they did with Jenny. So like, even though Kate wants her to come back and pitched it, they've said no. So there are those people, and apparently Rachel Shelley was in this camp that they just didn't even approach her, which is crazy because I'm sure she would, she's still doing like L Word podcast and other stuff with Diva Magazine. I think she's really good friends with Diva Magazine's like a UK lesbian magazine. I'm sure most people know that, but it just seems.
Yeah, the chat was saying she was like talking about the L Word on her podcast. So
is her podcast just like that Diva like she's a separate podcast?
Yeah, it's for the magazine. I'm not sure how. I don't think it's like a weekly thing. I don't listen to it, but I do see it like on Twitter and stuff.
Drama.
It's money. It's money.
You think? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about Carrie having a heart attack?
They pulled that from Rosie's own life. That's what happened to her.
So when did Rosie have a heart attack?
A bunch of years ago.
Oh, okay. Thought it was recent.
I thought it was weird. I thought it was weird that I thought they would go for like the angle of, I mean, just speaking from like a medical standpoint, it's very, very rare that women get a pain in their arm. Like heart attacks present very differently in women, and for a lesbian or like whatever, a lesbian is having a heart attack on the L Word, I would have thought they would have gone for that. Oh, it doesn't always look this way, and because pretty much every medical thing looks extremely different in women, but they always present the male symptoms and the male pattern on TV. So there's a ton of misdiagnosis in women because women are trying to look for male patterns when it just don't. But the thing is, what you're saying too, Evelyn, is like, I would have had some reaction or been wondering, but they literally played the trailer within 1 second of the episode and showed she's fine. So I haven't even thought about it again.
Yeah, why make a cliffhanger if you're just going to spoil it immediately?
True.
Like immediately.
It ended so dramatically, like with, Finley, giving her CPR, but then,
Anne was asking about Carrie being demisexual. I liked that they made her this, and it's just what Carrie says in the episode. It's you have to have an emotional attachment before you feel a sexual attraction to somebody. What did you all think about them having her be demi?
Wait, it just means it just means that you have to be attracted to somebody before having sex
emotionally attached to. You have to develop an emotional attachment. So
isn't that a lot of most people?
Isn't that all lesbians?
Yeah, you never have no one night stands, I guess.
Maybe one.
I'm the only hoe here, hoeing it up.
Don't you have a wife?
I mean, used to be hoeing it up. Used to be. I don't.
Her girlfriend is Kaylani. Dude.
I'm faithful to both Kaylani and to my wife, Ro.
I think that's so funny that there's a name for that, demisexual. That's like, no, I'm just a human being with a heart.
Come on. A lot of people have sex without emotional attachment.
Ash, when is Sherry Jaffe coming back? I thought Sherry Jaffe.
Oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ.
Oh, she's coming back again?
I don't know why I just thought of that. What I thought that
9 and 10, baby.
Why is she coming back?
Why does she come back to begin with, though?
Wait, is she going to be in both episodes?
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
wow.
Sherry Jaffe, for real?
Okay, so the deal is that Shane had to leave because Tess started drinking again. So that's going to give Shane the breakup. And then
I guess,
just hooks up with Sherry Jaffe. Okay, I guess I'm okay with that. I don't know. It's so stupid. Why did we go back and forth with Tess?
Wait,
I'm wasting my time.
So is Shane going to end up with Sherry Jaffe? Is that what's happening, Ash?
Oh, God, no.
No? Yes? Ash?
Well, they'll probably like hook up one more time. I don't think they're going to like get married.
It is it's the season of the one. No, I'm only about. I don't know. I don't know whether or not. But now I'm concerned.
No, even these writers aren't that crazy.
The chat is
silence.
the chat is outraged.
I mean,
Oh wow, somebody said maybe Tess sleeps with Sherry.
again? Wait, didn't they already sleep together? Or am I misremembering?
Well, they
that?
did. They
Yeah, they
dated
did,
for
yeah,
a minute.
Okay. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. So Jesus Christ.
And what's the deal with the bar next to? I mean, clearly they just like forgot about that storyline. Like, so we're not gonna see a fully functioning bar at the end. Or you can, unless they need to.
She throws that bottle. Tess throws that bottle next episode, and it's all like construction in the. So they must do something to it next episode.
I still think for episode 10 to make any sense, they have got to flash forward a year.
Again?
I mean, I would like that. But...
Yeah, again.
I mean, it can't hurt.
You wouldn't like that, Ash?
No, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
It's the only way for Bette and Tina to make any sense. Nobody's just like, oh, we're gonna come home and like, oh yeah, we'll also like throw a huge like what?
So do you think the next episode is just going to be a regular episode and then 10 will be a year later? Maybe?
I'm hoping.
But Carrie's so there must be some time has gone by because Carrie's like fine, like out there living her life. So
I mean, nothing has to make sense. Like nothing does.
You're right.
Nothing does.
You're right, Amanda. We're silly.
They'll just do whatever.
Like, let's use logic. And Amanda's like, it's the L word. That's true. Oh, hey. So, what do y'all think about Danny and Dre?
Hate them.
Hot.
Whoa. That was funny.
The range of emotions.
Care to elaborate, either of you?
Dre could be Pippa's. Oh, Pippa had a son, not a daughter. They resemble each other. Their hairstyle like resembles each other. Like, am I the only one who thought that? Like the hairstyle with the dreads. I was like, oh, maybe that's the big twist, is that it's actually Pippa's child. But I think they already posited that she has a son, not a daughter. So.
Yeah, she definitely has a son. Yeah, she is coming back in episode 10, though.
It would only be interesting if that was her kid, and it's not. So,
look, to be fair, I don't like Danny, but I just find them very boring. Like they were so boring this episode, you know? And again, I find Danny boring all the time, so I might be like biased. So like
I did forget about them. Like when we were at Dana's for a while and then they flashed back to them at Danny's apartment. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot
they exist
about them.
So it's not just me.
I just don't see it. No, I don't see like anything. Like any time that it goes to them, I'm like, fast forward. Like there's just nothing. Like I don't feel anything at all.
Arian Mandy is not a good actor. So it's just hard. Like people you like her with Gigi because you like the way they looked together and you liked the way the beginning of the writing, how they wrote them in the beginning, but it's not really because of Arian Mandy's performance. It's Gigi's doing the heavy lifting. So. Yeah, Seppi made Ari act better. Yeah.
Like I try not to talk about people's like individual acting because it makes me feel mean, but you know, there are levels of acting in this show, you know? Like I said,
I know Ash is like, oh, I don't want to comment on the actors.
Yeah, like, I really try
right now. Leo Shang is among the worst actors I've ever seen in my life. He's the worst actor on the show. Him and Maribel are the worst actors.
Oh, Jess.
What do you mean it's a television show? You can't talk about the acting? I'm not saying him as a person.
I know. I still makes me feel bad because I just imagine them, not that they're listening, but I just imagine them like listening. And then I feel
no experience as an actor. If you threw me on television, I would suck too because I have no experience.
This is true. Yeah. I mean, you're right. You're right.
I think Maribel's worse than Leo Shang, Jillian Mercado, and she also seems like a really lovely person. But yeah, the scenes with the two of them, it's very much amateur hour. That's part of what makes the losing the ring thing like look so rehearsed and like a trope, because like, you know, when Seppi's in a scene, like she's pulling it off, like what, you know, and it's not easy to pull off some of these plot lines. So,
oh yeah, Jesus, she makes it look like masterpiece theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yikes.
us just being like,
Oh, somebody's saying what actor can make some of this writing look good? I mean,
Rosie, Seppi,
Jacqueline.
I feel like the writing was
Yeah.
better for their characters. I feel like Bette was still written well.
it's
Angie was written very well until this season. Gigi was always written well.
The last episode with Gigi was silly.
Fucking bananas.
So, like, yeah, like that was
Sorry,
ridiculous.
oranges.
Oh, well, I'm
Jesus.
not talking
Yeah.
about
Oh,
this.
okay. You mean
I'm
like
talking
prior
about
to
in the past.
Okay.
I thought Rosani Zayas has been acting well for season 3.
She's fine.
I agree. I think she's improved. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, she like went to Juilliard or something, like.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
For voice, though, I don't think for acting.
Oh, really? Oh,
Okay.
Well, that's why she.
I never thought she was bad. Like, I never thought Sophie was bad in season 1. You know, but like obviously she's not seasoned in the same way that Jennifer Beals, Alicia Haley. You know, no, she's not to their level. But I thought she was fine.
The chat wants to mention Fletcher. What does everybody think? I mean, I know that was like a couple episodes ago, but Fletcher has a lot of fans.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Did she do anything? I can't remember.
She sung performed.
A song. She was like herself. Yeah, she was like herself.
I know she sung a song.
It was like an extended cameo.
Okay. Because I was like, I don't really remember her other than singing.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying like Jamie Clayton. Jamie Clayton is like handcuffed in this show because Tess, as a character, the character is a downer. Like the character goes nowhere, just spins in circles, and she's not able to shine with like her natural. She can't bring her real self to it, so she's kind of handcuffed. So people, and she's this. I thought the scene, maybe it was the episode where they were locked out of the house, like that wasn't great. Like the acting wasn't great. Like if she had a lighter character, with Jamie Clayton, I wish that they had literally given her a completely different character.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I think not everyone has range, and that doesn't mean you're a bad actor. But I think some actors are better at certain things. And I think that she, like you said, would be better in a different role. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, I do think she's gotten better because I remember watching her in Sense8. And I see improvement from Sense8. And I watched, what was that? Hellraiser. I thought she was excellent in Hellraiser. Loved her in Hellraiser. But... not so much is Tess. I like Tess though.
Yeah, in Sense8, her character and her girlfriend, they're so hot together and compelling. And I don't know, I was like into every scene that she's in Sense8. And then in Gen Q, it's another situation where well, actually, that's not true. In Sense8, she's like this like awesome hacker. But in Gen Q, really all she has is Shane and being an alcoholic. And her and Shane have, I mean, I know I've said this a million times, but they don't have chemistry. And so I don't really care about seeing them all day on a balcony saying cliches.
We don't know anything about Tess. Like, we don't know anything about Tess as a person. Like, what is she like? Like, what is she into? What is she like? What's her personality like? I don't even know what her personality is like. All we know is that, like, okay, she had a sick mother, she had an alcoholic. These are like bullets of like things about the character, but what is like the soul like? We don't know. And agreed, despite Kate Menig's trying to speak it into existence, they probably have chemistry as like individuals, like friendship chemistry, but it doesn't translate into romantic chemistry on screen.
Like, you're gonna show us Shane and Ivy and then go back to Shane and Tess. That's just, come on.
I agree with Lacey. Shane only had chemistry with Carmen and Molly. Those were the two where she had chemistry.
Yeah, I agree. She did have chemistry with Molly too.
They dated. They were dating in real life.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the is this somebody else I'm thinking? Did like Meryl Streep's daughter play Molly, or am I crazy?
Sybil Shepherd's
okay,
Shepherd's
that's
daughter.
what it was.
Clementine
Okay,
Ford was Molly.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, isn't it weird that Finley and Tess once hooked up in season 1?
Yeah, I thought about that this episode too, and I was like, that is weird.
I thought they might be putting them together when Tess
Me
was
too.
like kind of being a little touchy, and
I really wonder what they're gonna do with this Tess alcoholic thing though, because it's like, okay, you're starting this in episode 8. Like, what are you doing? Like, where are we gonna go? Like, I feel, I don't know, I have this feeling about, I hate the way a lot of shows will portray substance, alcohol abuse, whatever you want to say, as like every single person has to have this like rock bottom moment where they're like pissing in people's apartments and like burning places down. Like, people can have rock bottom moments but still be going to work every day and like, you know, paying their rent and whatever else it is. But it's just, they always go in this really like, you know, stereotypical way, and I have a feeling that there's just gonna be something like ridiculous, maybe
With
at the
Tess?
wedding or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
It's just, what else are they gonna do? Like, just have her
It's to
secretly drink?
it's to break them up. But they should have just broken up when they were locked out.
Yeah, like, what?
Yeah. She should have seen
maybe
in
they
the
will put
musical,
Finley.
it should have shown her that she wants to be free and just like, she's the polyamorous one, and but they like, it's ridiculous to think, oh, like Tess is the one. Like, that was not the way to land the plane with Shane in that musical.
yes, there's no pilots, there's no landing gear here, there's nobody watching the runway, bringing them in so everything makes sense and it's all wrapped up with a bow. We're just out here flying with nothing. We need some parachutes as a fan, you know.
Somebody's saying here, Bet was still well written. Jennifer Beals must have a lot. So I actually bring this up in my interview with Eileen Chaikin, and I float a theory that I have to Eileen Chaikin, and she has like she sort of denies it, but she had like she didn't really say anything, but like she gave like a visual reaction to it. And I wonder how you interpret that, Ash, and like everybody. Like, I'm gonna leave it. I'm leaving it in, and then visually you'll see it on the YouTube. It's something that I've thought this whole time.
So you feel like she's low-key writing?
I have thought that Eileen Chaikin was doing rewrites on the Bette and Tina stuff. Yes, because it's a different show. When you watch it's not coming from the same mind that's writing Little Micah over there.
The Thanksgiving episode.
It does feel different. It does feel different now.
Yeah.
Of course.
Now that you brought that up.
And I also brought up like Gigi, Seppi/Gigi to Eileen, and like she says some stuff about there. I asked her all the questions that you guys would like want to hear.
You mean like, do you think that she was writing like her stuff too? Like Gigi, or
No, I didn't think that. But just like general, like I asked if she was aware of like the fan reaction to Danny and Gigi, and I brought up that like that Gigi was really the only one where she steps on screen, it feels like the old show, and she basically said,
okay,
she agreed. And she talks more about that, like get more in the casting of set. It's interesting things that I didn't know.
Yeah, I also
so subscribe
just
to the
don't.
podcast and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's coming out very, very soon, like Monday.
Yeah, we're good. You'll know. I'll put it on my things. I also don't believe that after everything, like especially Eileen Shaken and Jennifer Beals are friends. I just don't believe that maybe the show, maybe everything, and Eileen was like, yeah, like do whatever you want. If you want to erase season 6, that's fine. But I just have a hard time that Eileen would just be like, do whatever the fuck you want with Bette, because even so, like Bette and Jenny are her. Like that's how she's written them to be versions of her. So I know that, I mean, this is what obviously I'm not in the fucking meetings, but I've been told that like Eileen joins like the Zoom calls and all that stuff. She doesn't really say anything, but she is aware of like what is happening in the writers' room.
I asked her if she watches Gen Q.
Does she?
She does, but I don't really believe her.
Oh.
Everyone's gonna have to watch her reaction very closely now.
She gave like she was like, yeah, I'm an executive producer. I was like, okay, babe.
She's like, of course, I have to.
She's like, of course, I'm cashing checks. I mean, this is what she's really saying.
Oh god. I wish they would, like, in the credits, whenever everybody comes up, it's just like, check issued 2 instead of all these titles that don't mean anything. Oh god.
What do you guys think Marja should have done? Because I maintain that reboots are really hard. I like people are like, oh, she should have done this, she should have done that. But I really think that no matter what she would have done, I don't think she would have pleased everyone. I don't even know if she could have pleased the majority of the people. So like, what do you guys think she should have done to not be where we are today?
Recreate a friend group.
Oh, sorry. Go. What'd you say?
Oh, I was going to say, do what they started to do, which is recreate a new friend group that reminds us of the old one, but that is different, but that is fun. And then don't blow the friend group up. And then I think hire better writers. That's not really an answer to your question, but like you're saying, as if we are the writers.
You're like, hire better writers. I mean, that's not,
Right. That doesn't answer your question.
No, I mean, I think it's hard. That's why I'm like, That's why I wonder what you guys would
characters,
say.
The Micah, Danny, Sophie, Finley, those characters. Okay, fine. If you want a Finley type, those 4 should have like start over. Give me new characters, new personalities, new actors. Like those characters aren't interesting. Whereas if you watch the pilot of Gen Q versus the pilot or the first few episodes of the L Word, the characters were there, and a lot of it came from the actors, but the characters were there. Like Alice as a character was so well defined. She was a magazine writer. She was like funny and like sassy. Dana was such a strong character, a closeted famous tennis player, something to work with. What do we know about Micah? Still 3 years later, fucking nothing. He had a job for a hot minute last season.
So like better defined, like you need to better define the group, first of all, period.
Yeah. I liked when Sophie, I mean, you're saying I would have start all over. I loved that 2 of them were working at the Alice show. I don't know why Finley is no longer working at the Alice show. That provided so much fodder. By the way, did you guys notice or miss Leisha Haley Alice in this episode? This was the episode without Alice.
Oh, yeah,
How did you feel an episode without Alice versus an episode without Shane last week?
Oof.
I miss Alice more.
Alice brings the funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong,
Shane
Shane made me chuckle. Shane did make me chuckle in this episode, but Alice brings the funny.
I think Alice is more of a contributor to the show because of the way they've written them in the Gen Q reboot.
Completely.
But I don't know. I think the episode was so crazy for episode 8 that I almost didn't notice that Alice wasn't there.
But the thing is, their cast is so big that they can afford to drop some people per episode, and maybe that's what they should do to spend some more time with other people. But to answer what you said, Evelyn, because I have thought about this a fucking lot, is everything that you said, add in the actual characters who have, they should have seriously, I think they rushed into this too, because they rushed in to do 8 episodes whenever they wanted to do 10. Everybody was going to do 10, but Marsha's personal life, so they should have said, okay, wait, do it next year, or do it 6 months, whatever it is, just wait. And they should have used that time to define the characters. And I mean, my opinion is that they should have either, you actually could do it either way, either rewrite season 6, pretend season 6 doesn't exist, and when you come back, you need to be answering things that happen in the intermediate, because that's what your audience wants to fucking know. So you should have gone in. And I still say they should have done this, even if they didn't do it the first season, start doing it. That in the little cold open before the credits, use that time every episode to go back and show us Bette and Tina getting divorced, or show us what happened with Kit, show us Alice and Tasha breaking up, show us all those things, because just using those little bits, cold opens before the episode, you're not diverting the whole episode, you're not having to explain this whole big fitting a sentence in as to why Tasha ghosted Alice that makes no sense at all. You're just, and the audience, people are going to live for those, people are going to share those things would go marketing crazy. You wouldn't have to do anything, and it's minimal. It's 3 minutes of dialogue at the beginning of an episode. It doesn't need to be some big song and dance, literally. So that's and you can answer, and you can also just figure some of the things out that you should have figured out before you put pen to paper with the characters, with the storylines, with all these things. And if they were bound by the same sort of restraints, okay, you can't have Laurel Holloman full time, I would have originally, I mean, I think it goes without saying, they shouldn't have divorced Bette and Tina, because just to go back to where they are, I think they should have come up with something really strong for a Bette's character to do outside of that, and then just use Laurel Holloman in the episodes that she can do, and have those as your Bette and Tina things. And that's the audience would understand. We know that she's not available for that time.
Yeah.
Or you make the big decision and you just say, okay, we have Bette and Tina not in an episode or 2, and then give Alice and Shane the step up or whatever it is. Because if you're writing the Gen Q characters well and giving them, all the storylines and stuff, then people are going to be interested in them. And it all comes back to the characters, the storylines, and picking up the thread of the original, because guess what? The original is why we're all fucking here, including the writers. And they don't like that, seem to forget it, whatever it is. But saying all of that, I mean, that's just my opinion and my ideas. I do agree with Evelyn that no matter what they would have done, people would have been pissed. But
True.
I guess it's just how many people and to what degree, because I think this is just the worst way, because it's slowly been simmering over. I mean, you can just even watch through my reaction over the past 3 years. Like, people are going to give you, you know, the benefit of the doubt. They're going to have patience. But when every time you come back and every single time that you've given them a chance, they've just ruined it. And there's so many things that you gave them a chance and said, oh, they're going somewhere, or they're doing something here. And they never were. It was just always a mess.
I also think they totally flubbed Shane in Gen Q. It made no sense, and they never did anything with her character.
No.
The whole thing, I mean, it was promising where like, oh, she was married, and then they bring back the wife, but of course they cast people who can only sign 2 or 3 episode deals, and so they have to write off that character. Like, that's the problem. And so
I mean,
that's
didn't
why
they
you're
do that
left
on
with
purpose?
disappearing characters, is because they for whatever reason they don't want to commit, or they don't have the budget, they can't commit, or the actor, like, I don't get it. The original Elra didn't have this problem. You'd have recurring.
It's because the show, so I think it's because of the budget, because it's expensive show to make, and they, you know, they have such a huge
not more
cast
expensive than
too.
the original L Word.
They're in LA though,
and they don't
they're
even use
paying way.
That's another. By the way,
way
it's so
more
funny.
in LA.
When I was watching the episode, I was thinking, what service is it doing us? They're not showing off LA. We're not like, see, one time Bette was hiking Runyon Canyon. Like, what are we? Like, the original Elwood felt more like LA than this does. This feels like it's being shot on a spaceship.
But that's the thing. They only do these like, like aerial or like drone shots or something. But for the original, okay, they'd film in Vancouver, but then they'd go and do like a week in LA and do like filming at Yamashiro
like
or
to me. They don't even go to known. They don't even go to known restaurants. Like, remember, they would go to what's that really famous cafe in LA? I used to think it was based on the planet.
Earth Cafe.
So I used to think Earth Cafe was what the planet was based on, but Eileen actually dispelled that in my interview with her. But like, you'd see them like at famous places in LA, and they don't even do that. They don't go on locate. Like, we're stuck in Dana's, which is, I don't know, depressing. I'm depressed in there. I hate it. I'm sick of it.
What do you think? Because I was actually going to say one of the things the reboot is missing is the planet, and I just remember enjoying every single scene inside the planet.
Well, they think it's Dana's.
Yeah, that's not going to say. I think Dana's is the new planet,
but they don't treat Dana's like the planet. I don't know what's different. Maybe it's because it's always inside, and like in the planet we would sort of get shots from like the window into the planet, or I don't know, or maybe it was just,
I think they do too many angles in Dana's, so there's not a good familiar angle. Like, I feel like in the planet they had a couple of angles, and those were their go-tos to get the shot at the table. But I feel like Dana's is just huge or something. I don't know.
No, it always looks different.
Is it like, yeah,
it's
so it
not
always
huge.
So you have that,
Let me tell you,
it's not huge. Okay,
I don't. It looks a lot bigger. It looks a lot bigger on the TV, but it's absolutely tiny.
Like, is Dana supposed to be? It is supposed to be a cafe in the morning, because right?
Well, it's supposed to be like the planet.
But we never see them having like meeting for coffee there, or like picking up a coffee the way you would see that.
I think they did in the first season.
The real semi-tropic, it only opens at 2:00. So they do, but it's like weird food. It's like bowls of like spicy popcorn and like weird little. It's weird, like LA food. Like, those little. It's like $40 for like 4 little squares of cheese and things like that. Like.
Catriana's right. It's too dark to be a daytime cafe, and I literally think that's the difference for me between the Planet and and Dana's. Is like it's so dark inside Dana's,
even during the day.
True.
Do you think? Because someone made a comment earlier, I think, about the difference between the L Word, the original L Word acting, and the new L Word acting, and because like I know some of them back then were new to acting. Do you think there's a really, really big difference between the level of acting in the L Word original and then this one? Overall, like as a cast. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Yeah.
You just think the OG just they were just better actors.
You never felt. You always were like brought into the characters of Dana, Alice, and Shane. Like you were so interested.
Jenny, don't forget Jenny.
Oh my God! And Mia is like she's Mia. I would put her maybe as like one of the best actresses.
She's amazing. Oh my God.
Well, in the original, we're watching Jenny's story through the first few episodes.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to get invested. Whereas in the reboot pilot, it was just like, here's all these young people. They're different kinds of queers. And, I don't know. There was no one person we were like watching things through.
I think also they started the ages. I think the original L Word, they were probably supposed to be around 30. I read them all as like supposed to be around 30, or maybe like late 20s on the cusp of 30. Whereas these people all feel 24 or 25. It's like too young.
Yeah.
So like they're not professionals. They're not adults to me.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that because everybody was like in there, like deeply into their career at the beginning of the L Word. Like, Dana was a professional tennis player?
Yeah.
Jenny was young, right? Wait, was she in college? Or she was going back to college. It's been a while.
Oh, she just graduated.
So she was like
I think it was a master's. So maybe she was like,
she
I know like her storyline was very
probably older. So like she brought a maturity and a depth to it.
To Jess's point, in episode 8, we literally have Carrie, or maybe it was 7, calling Finn kid all the time. And so I do think this show sees the Gen Qers as kids. Except maybe like Sophie. Sophie's storylines do not seem kid-like at all with her like professional career.
But I don't know, but didn't she like didn't she fill out something like a couple episodes ago? I cannot remember.
The documentary.
Oh yeah. She has a master's. So most masters are like 2 years. So she has to be at least, she's been working on Alice for what, 100 episodes, 3 seasons. If she has a master's, 2 seasons, undergrad 4 years, she has to be like at least 28.
Okay.
At minimum. But she did a documentary actually after school, after her master's. So she has to be like close to 30. This is I see the chat talking about this, and I actually was like waiting for a pause in the conversation to bring it up. So chat read my mind. But a lot of people have been mentioning this to me, like probably the past couple of weeks, but and I would watch this show without this. It's not an important part of the show for me, but there's like no sex scenes this season.
This season there's none.
No, because even the Kaylani Shane scene was cut short. Why? I don't know, because that was a great scene.
Like the only other one was
why that is. I wonder why there's
maybe Kaylani was like, y'all not paying me enough to.
And it's so interesting because there was so much sex during like the COVID times.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fade out. So they'll start a love scene.
Yeah.
And then it'll fade out. Like because with Dre and Danny, and they were in the pool, that was a fade out. Kaylani and Shane, that was a fade out. Even Shane and Tess like making out, having a quickie or something, it's a fade out. That's interesting.
Yeah. Bette Tina's was like 10 seconds.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was But I mean, to be fair, they're not great at love scenes. So maybe they're just like, we're just gonna stop trying.
But there's some people who like think they're like amazing at them.
Oh, Gen
like,
Q?
yeah.
Oh. The L Word was amazing at love scenes.
Yeah, I heard some people saying that, and I was like, oh, I don't think that, but
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe it was just like, maybe they just were the hotness of the people in the scenes. They were, you know what I mean? Like maybe they were just attracted to the people like Gigi and like the throuple, that whole thing.
yeah, it's weird.
But I mean, I say if you can't do them well, then you might as well not do them.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Alice scene with the dude.
Fuck
that was
me.
fun
Yeah,
to watch. I forgot they did have a sex scene, the Alice scene with the dude.
Just up all of our
Again,
streets.
more centering of men on this show.
Yeah.
Just what the four of us enjoy.
Yeah. Oh, we did. Oh, we saw Micah's butt last episode. I forgot. So yeah, briefly saw Micah's booty. Lots of boy booty.
Yeah. Again, just wonderful choice.
Yeah, lots of boy booty. So,
as a lesbian,
like, what did I come back to?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Let me jump right in on that boy booty discussion.
We save that for you.
Thank you.
I love Alice and the dude was like a gym workout. It wasn't sexy at all. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know because I'm a lesbian. So maybe if you're like the non-lesbians, was that hot? Like, are you like the bi girls? Was that hot for you guys? Answer in the comment. Answer in the chat. Bi girls.
Let us know your expert
Let us
opinion.
know because like I agree with that comment.
Oh.
Dracula's daughter's not feeling it.
All right, we're getting some no's from my bi girls. Okay. Wow, lots of no's apparently. Okay. Well, all right. It wasn't meant to be hot. It was meant to be fun. Was it fun? So did you think it was fun?
I laughed. I remember laughing at the scene. In like a sort of like a kind of
in a terrified way.
Yeah.
In a what am I seeing way. Oh.
So if there's what do you, if right now, okay, we've got 1 week till episode 9, 2 weeks till episode 10, what are the things that if they did that you would at least say like, okay, I'm happy with, like, and for any, what would you like to see, like 3 or 4 things, any characters, anything happen? Like, I know Jess, you'll say Bette's mom.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again.
So for episodes 9 and 10, like, there, what are some things that you'd be like, okay, like, thank God, like they did this. Anything that would make you happy.
If they wrote the Bette Tina stuff well.
Yeah, like if the actual vows are really good and touching and it's not too rushed. You know, if the wedding is done well and not, I'm worried it'll just be like rushed and they won't put enough effort into it. But hopefully I'm wrong.
Do you think Eileen had anything to do with that, Jess? Like the wedding?
She claims no.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know.
No.
She was on set that one day.
Writing of it?
Yeah.
Well, it was my thought all along that she was contributing, like looking
scenes.
over the Bette stuff. And
I think if Eileen does it, I'm sure it'll be good. If Eileen does it. Just saying.
She was on set that one day. I mean, like, we saw pictures. And
the day you visited the set, Ash?
We missed each other that day. We missed each other that day.
Wait, Ash,
we couldn't have two legends on the set.
Have you been on set, Ash? This
Remind me.
I know, new information, brand new information for everyone in the chat too. Yeah, it was. I think it was, but like just when they were finishing 9 and moving on to 10. So
I don't know what could be done about all of the like current storylines that would make me happy. Was that the question? I don't know. I don't
Most accurate response.
I mean, like, I can't because of the way it's been, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want for like Angie's character? What do you want for Shane and Tess? I
want Shane and Tess to stay broke up, but I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Me? I mean, maybe. She might jump on the Sherry Jaffe train.
Yeah.
That's
worse, almost. I mean, look, I loved I think Shane had great chemistry with Sherry Jaffe. Because earlier, Jess, you were talking about Shane having only chemistry with Molly and
oh yeah, she did have good chemistry with Sherry Jaffe. Yes,
fantastic chemistry. So, you know, I mean, hey, she ends up with Sherry. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
They do keep repeating this mantra of like, this season is all about the one. But like, no one is with anyone except Bette Tina. So I just
so is Tasha coming back, Ash?
Rushing. I don't know.
Ash, did you hear me? All right.
I do have I mean, obviously, like season 4 is up in the air, but it would be interesting if, say, like Tasha came back in the finale and then it was opening the door for Rose to come back for season 4, since they have some openings in the cast. But I don't know whether she would want that, or
I hope we get at least one nice Misty Carrie moment.
Yeah, they're in episode 9.
Okay.
So did you find the stuff about her calling her girlfriend? Is that going to be resolved eventually, or was that just nothing?
Oh, I thought they resolved. I thought when she said, "Oh, sorry about calling you your girlfriend, my girlfriend," and then Misty basically was like, "Oh, I don't care. I need to go to the bathroom."
Oh,
yeah, that's what I thought too. I didn't think
that just went over my head. Okay, it was just diarrhea. Okay.
Yeah, that's what that was. Yeah, it was just diarrhea. Okay.
Yeah, so I would say on my like speedometer of worry, I am I am a little, because I'm just worried about the rushing, and I really hope that the stuff with the wedding and stuff isn't like super cheesy. Like I hope it's obviously I hope it's good.
I'm worried about Bette's hair being straightened.
Are they going to straighten her hair?
Well, it's straight in the next episode, and those hideous pictures that I saw of the wedding, which I don't even like those outfits at all. Like, I'm already like turned off. But if her hair is like that blowout, like I'm gonna puke. I need Bette.
I didn't know pictures had
hair. I don't like it when they straighten it. Like, what? Why are you taking away her powers?
It was
I love her curly hair. I love her hair.
Of course. Why would you? What?
Yeah.
I have it on my computer.
Oh, you have some pics?
Oh, it's just that one of the
because I haven't seen any of these wedding pics.
Yeah, me neither.
Totally agreed, Michelle Lang. After a certain age, don't we stop looking for the one? I'm speaking as a Gen Xer. Yes, I'm on the cusp of Gen X and Gen Y. What's the next one after Gen X?
We're millennials, the three of us.
But I'm 40. So what?
You're a millennial. You're a millennial.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm an older millennial. Yeah, I found the one and that was bad. So I don't care about
Jess
the one.
doesn't like marriage or weddings.
No, I don't need. I'm happy if I'd rather not have somebody destroy my life. Yeah, this is hideous to me, what I'm looking at. Nothing is correct. Shane is the only one who
I was
looks
just gonna
good.
say Shane looks hot.
Shane is the only one who is well dressed.
Ooh, what did they do with Alice?
That dress on Alice is hideous. Maybe it's just the picture is
I was
terrible.
about to say maybe it's the angle.
I think
Like,
it's a terrible picture because it's really even blurry.
Yeah,
Oof.
it's hard to.
They're Mom and Tina up with that scarf thing.
Yeah,
I would need to see a
hate
different
that.
angle on everyone.
I think they have like some sort of weird filter on it too, because it's just blue. Like it looks like like it's like moving or something. It's weird.
Yeah, this can't be Bette and Tina's wedding outfits.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But
I don't think Tina would wear a suit, right? Probably
that
not.
they're at the wedding location.
Maybe they're the reception or like after or before. You know what I mean? Like the dinner or something, as opposed to the actual wedding. I'm thinking. I hope.
No, because there was the other picture of them like walking, and they were in
Oh.
those same outfits from the back.
That's what I'm looking for right now.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Maybe all the conspiracy theorists are right, and there's going to be a double wedding with Micah and Maribel, and that's just their outfits for the other wedding.
Oh,
I will. When
Ash is
I
like,
fly to
no.
LA, I will riot. I will absolutely riot.
Ash is like, no.
I will personally stop this.
All right.
I definitely have that picture, but I don't know what I did with it. Yeah, I don't know what I did with it. It's somewhere in here.
Sorry for putting that out there, Mindy.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, with these writers, like anything is possible. They could marry Finley and Tess. They don't care.
Oh, they might put Tess and Finley together. Because like Sophie's like, I don't want you anymore. And Tess is all, she can take care of herself. So
But don't you think there was a little gleam in Sophie's eye when Finn was like, but I'm still in love with you. And Sophie was like, oh, you know what? How mature of you to let me know. Or was that just a story I wrote in my head?
I don't know, child. I don't know what Sophie wants. It's so annoying. It is so annoying.
Oh, this is the one. I can't find the bloody. Let me show you. Oh, Jesus Christ! Open.
I thought for a second they were gonna put Danny and Sophie back together in the Fletcher episode, because it seemed like when Sophie was drunk, and I was like, oh, Danny's gonna take her home, and they're gonna, but no, and I was like, oh, that would have been cool. But no, they didn't do that.
The way Danny responded in this episode when Dre suggested that Danny's girl back home was Sophie, the way Danny was like, oh, no, never. That what? Are you crazy?
Ew,
and then to not talk about Gigi was insane.
That was insane.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Insane.
Lesbian! That was for you, Mindy J.
What is this? What is this picture?
This is the fridge scene I've been talking about for like 4 months. There's
Who is a fridge that big? What are we
this
looking
is the
at
first
here?
I'm hearing of this.
This is the fan service Bette and Tina fridge moment that's going to be like the elevator allegedly.
But
It's
so
gonna
they're
be-
supposed to be stuck in a fridge? That doesn't make sense.
Wait, are they
well,
gonna have
not,
sex
I
in the
think they
fridge?
go. Yeah, they're gonna have sex in the fridge. I
Oh,
think they go into the fridge.
okay.
But a fridge that has to be like a that's an industrial fridge.
Yeah,
They're contaminating all of that.
it's like a
food.
walk-in.
Who would have
fridge, yeah.
who would want to do anything in like 20 degrees? I don't get it. That still doesn't make sense.
I mean, they're so hot that it doesn't matter how cold it is because their heat.
That outfit she's wearing is hideous. I'm sorry, Beth.
That's
and I
the
hate her
outfit
hair
with
like
the
that.
window.
You have to wear it the way I want it. That is the opposite of how I like her hair. I hate it like that.
That's the outfits that they're wearing in the very last thing they posted on social media, when literally it's like Jennifer Beals, Laura Holloman, and Jordan Hull's in the middle, and they're like holding hands, like literally skipping off into the sunset, was like the last thing they ever posted on the last day of filming. So
They're gonna I bet they post more when
oh yeah.
I'd get it on in a walk-in.
Jennifer Beals has been off of social media for like a month. Not a month, but like a bit.
Yeah, oh yeah, she has.
But she'll definitely be back. She's good.
She's good.
Do you think this is?
I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm exhausted here, guys.
Have we seen a Frigid Dana's?
What?
Like,
yeah, they'll definitely have a
like
walk-in.
Okay.
I just
but those
hate
outfits,
her hair.
I think
who likes her hair? People in the comments, does anybody like Bette's hair straightened, or when they do it like that? It's basically straightened and pulled back. Does anybody like that?
No,
and then all you see is like bangs.
No.
First of all, anybody with curly hair as like speaking to somebody, like, why bangs?
So this bottom picture,
oh, I see. Okay,
is like it's one, not even a second. It's like a split second in the very last, the other trailer that was like.
See, everybody's saying we need. Everybody is saying the people have spoken. We need it curly. Everyone. This is the
Somebody
only
got the
thing I
message
care
to
about
Jennifer
on
Beals,
Earth.
please.
I swear to God, this is my passion project. Is Bette's hair. I'm very into everybody agreeing with me on this.
It's like how my mom did her hair when I was a kid, and she had like permed it because that's what everybody did. That's what all the moms did when we were kids. That's what it reminds me of, like permed and then straightened hair that you don't know how to work.
Wait,
So
what?
is that supposed to be the aisle, Ash, that they're walking down?
No, I think that's them, like, because
the honeymoon?
That tree thing behind them,
Uh-huh.
they filmed at this ranch, Los Caribos. I have it in one of my videos, and they actually all went down and like stayed the night there, like for like 2 nights to film all this stuff. And then but there is other stuff that they filmed like on their set, because they had all these trees and stuff. All, if you go on one of my videos,
name of the venue?
You can see them.
What's that name of that ranch?
I'll show you. Los Calamigos, I think it is. Let me show you.
Oh my God! Beth says, "I'd like Bette if she were bald." Please do not put that into the ether.
What? That reminds me of She Bald from The Wilds.
Calamingo.
Oh,
How do you say that? What?
Calamigos. These are the So it's like this. And then this is the so the patch, when you work on like a show like this, they, especially like the camera A, camera B operator, they'll give you like a patch for your camera. So the camera B operator is this woman, Lauren Peel. She posted the picture of her patch, and it's literally like this tree with an engagement ring, and then says the L Word Generation Q season 3. So for them to put it on tree. Yeah, for them to put it on the patch, like, it has to be some significant moment.
What do you think it costs to have your wedding hair? Like millions?
No.
6 figures.
Oh,
6 figures.
To have wedding hair? You think it costs
wedding? Here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said to have your wedding hair done. I'm like, are you all insane? It's $1,500. Like, Matt, make less. $500. 6 figures.
I'm just over here tomboying out. How do you Fims? What is it? $1 million every time you cut your hair?
Wait, Ash, when you go to LA, you should drive up to Malibu and check this place out.
Picture me with the tree.
I mean, I would if I was making a trip to LA, I'd be like, Yeah, make it a.
Yeah, who wants to come with me? Let me let me know in my Discord in our
I'd
When
go
watch
with
I went
party
to
chat.
Vancouver. I'll talk about this when we do our episode, Ash. I went to Vancouver. The L Word had finished, like maybe a few years after it had finished. I took a trip to Vancouver and I saw this CAC, like the location, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
wound
yeah,
up going
yeah.
up to Whistler because Whistler's like amazing.
Mhm.
And I saw that hotel where they did the wedding.
Oh,
I went
yeah,
on my
yeah.
own private L Word excursion.
Yeah, I was gonna go to Yomashiro, from the season 5 finale, where they have the Les Girls rap party.
Oh, where is that in LA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's lots of little cute places. I went to some places last time. But oh God. There
All
is so much to come, but I think Evelyn, I know you have to go, so we'll probably wrap up. But thank you, obviously, a million thank yous for coming. I'm gonna put everybody's information again in the chat. It'll be linked in the description box down below, so you can just click through from each of them. Jess's podcast again is Hot Takes and Deep Dives, and as I said, I'll be posting her Eileen Chaikin thing. And then Amanda's channel is linked below, which is her name. And then she has her podcast Lescast as well. And she posts about the L Word Generation Q every week, the episodes. And Evelyn has her channel, which is her name. And then she also has her Patreon, where she does a podcast talking about the L Word as well. So definitely go and check those out, guys. And the links will be below. Thank you so much for everyone who came. And yeah, we'll be back soon.
Thanks for having me on.
Watch this space. Have a good weekend, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Y'all
Bye.
stay safe.